It is Friday, and we have finally made it to the end of another week. And we've been exploring this week about how to become a 2%er. So, this is our last golden nugget that we're going to share with you about being a 2%er. And today, this is all about embracing change. So, quite a lot of the time when I talk about being a 2%er, many people do fear change and worry about change. And very similar to acting in the spite of fear, it's about the unknown. It's about what's going to happen and we've not got control over it. So you can actually use the strategy for acting in the spite of fear as well in change. Okay. But another little tip that I'm going to hand over to you today is just to actually do some reflection on change. There are a couple of things that we like to have as a person so that we understand why change is going on. And one of those things is to understand the reason behind the change. Sometimes when someone's so passionate about something and is inviting us to embark on this change, they forget to tell us the reasons why. Okay. So if that is a situation you find yourself in, put your big brave pants on and ask the question. Tell me why this change is necessary. How's it going to benefit me? How's it going to benefit the group as a whole? And that might be as a family or even in the organization that you work in. So ask the question, why? And often that can alleviate that sense of fear because you can now plan and see where you are actually heading towards and the reasons behind it. Another thing to consider is actually just allowing yourself to be present. Because when we talk about change, again, it's about something that's quite distant and in the future. It's something that we build up to. And it can feel overwhelming. It can feel quite big. So we're going to start breaking this down into smaller chunks, and that actually in the present, not much is happening. And tomorrow, it might be a small indifference that we're going to make. So rather than seeing the end goal of change, just stay present, go along with the flow, take it bit by bit, small steps. And again, if you feel that the steps are becoming increasingly too big for you to manage and it's feeling more stressful and uncomfortable, then obviously you can have a conversation with either your family or your organization as to how it can make that a little bit easier a transition for you. And then finally, the third thing to consider is about change that you've gone through in the past. Now, we've all gone through different changes, lots of things that have happened to us that we have very little in common with, but there is one change that has happened to the whole world that we can definitely identify with. And that, I hate to bring it up, but is COVID. That was definitely the unknown. It was a massive change. When I look back at some of the things that we did, I can't even believe we did it. You know, the hour exercise outside, people locking themselves in their bedrooms to stay isolated and all that kind of thing. And thinking about that change that we had to embrace, and yes, was kind of forced upon us, and yes, was uncomfortable, and yes, was unpleasant at the time. At the end of that change, the majority of us have coped with that really, really well and come out the other side. And we've learned so much about ourselves, and there were some amazing positives that came out of that. So often looking back in the past and looking at how we dealt and managed change in the past